That's 4-0 for SK.
How do you think SK have adapted to, like, I mean, early on, their nuke, like, got mildly weaker when they had to, like, integrate Delpan, but it seems like they've got it back to a really good level now. What do you think they changed?
I think the problem with Delpan is he can't really play inner. He kind of sucks at that spot because his low sensitivity doesn't allow him to turn properly from flashes. So I think he had the same problem when he joined Fnatic, where they tried to force him to play inner and he just got destroyed. Any flash execute, any flash rush, he can't do anything, he just dies. So I think letting Delpan play outside really lets him do a lot more and enables for easier retakes and stuff with him, because he won't really get blind on retake. Plus he is a lot better with an op, and he ops outside a lot too. Basically, I feel like when Delpan joins a team, you kind of have to make him comfortable. You can't just fit him in, if you know what I mean. You can't force him to do things he's not good at. So they were sticking to the same strat. 3 outside, 2 guys work ramp and hold lobby.
Are they actually playing the rest of the tournament simultaneous to this?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Navi's already been playing Fear Factory. I don't know what the score was. Looks like AGAiN's about to do an inner execute right now. These are just really clean rounds for SK. They're reading AGAiN really well. When they are going outside, they have people going steel stairs. They have people watching on our ladder from pretty decent spots, playing it really smart.
Someone's dropped. Thing is, it always seemed with with the Polish team, in the modern day, since they've had Pasha, a lot of their strength on nuke came on whether Pasha could just go outside and kill someone early or not. Because then it opens up going ramp, etc. Because you just draw the defense back.
Yeah, I think the way that AGAiN plays nuke is they need their players to be on form. They need people hitting those shots. They got to get picks outside. They got to get picks at ramp. If ramp people aren't going to get picked, the outside guys really have to step up, because there's nothing the lobby people can really do by themselves.
I always thought they were one of the best teams at forcing ramp as well, when they just go there no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, that's a huge kill by Neo. We got a bomb down here. This is another scenario where the round is in favor of AGAiN, even though they have a little bit lower HPs, because no one really knows where Cuban is, and Neo can just get in a door. Ooh, I mean, these rounds could have so easily gone either way, I feel like, but SK is just winning the really crucial 2v2s. That's 7-0 for SK. I don't think AGAiN's ever going to save, unless they win one, lose one, and get their money broken. They're going to buy it for the rest of the half.
That's pretty much their style though, they go down with the ship once they start that half buying shit.
Yeah, they just go for it. I mean, it's pretty much what you have to do if you dedicate 5 rounds.
Once you accumulated enough losses, you may as well just keep going for it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's
really no point saving and then winning 2 rounds, if you gambled all that money.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to pretty much go for it at that point. I think FX has one of the better teams for doing it. All their players are really self-sufficient on being able to get picks, and as you can see with the score line right here, none of their players are getting the picks right now, and that's really their whole game plan is relying on individual kills, which they aren't getting.
Coming into this event, would you have picked SK as the favourite for SEC in terms of FX's like organization problems, or would you still have assumed that FX like probably unpowered them?
I mean, I feel like SK is like going to be consistently better than AGAiN for the most part. I feel like just the way they play is safer and more likely to get them consistent results, in my opinion. But I mean, it's pretty hard to play versus AGAiN when they're on fire, I think. I don't know if you agree.
I think they're probably like the most streaky team in history, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like they have tightened it up a little bit. Like I think since they got Pasha, they got a little bit more consistent. Like they're not going to lose to certain teams, like on LAN at least. But you still, they're that team where like you never know if they're going to win the event until you've seen like half the event.
Yeah. Like when they get their ball rolling, I mean, they're really hard to stop. They're like one of the most demoralizing teams to play versus, I think, just by how they, like, the way they get rounds on you is, like, you probably, like, I've never played FX, but I played teams that have done similar things to me where they just, split up the map and kill everyone where they go. Is really, like, there's nothing you can really do. You can't overstack ramp. You can't, like, stack outside, because then you weaken the areas that they're already getting picks on, and they just keep killing you.
That's kind of why I can understand why some of the Navi players said, I'm not sure whether it was in private or public, but they said that they essentially like modeled their style of team off the FX team, because like you see Navi do that a lot. Like essentially, it's sort of like what North Americans do, where you try and get a pick to start the round, except that they do it like a lot better. Like as soon as they do get the kill or they die, they have like a strategy they go to immediately afterwards.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the way that Navi plays is like a lot more refined, where they might be more chaotic, but once kills go down, they all know exactly what rules they're going to be doing, and like the situation's been gone over with them. I think that obviously probably comes from living in a house, but and again, just keep running into. Like, the problem for FX right now is SK just reading them perfectly. No matter where they go, they have, like, a bunch of people waiting, and you would think, like, for most teams, if the ramp rotator leaves ramp and there's just one guy there, there's a pretty good chance that, like, Neo and, Pasha are gonna go and kill him, but you have Force there playing ramp for you, so that always helps. Those are 2 huge kills by GetRight, just straight peeking.
They died so easily there.
Yeah.
I think Taz just got dinked at me.
Yeah, so GetRight just took the full 25 HP drop and straight ran to the squeaky. They had nades in hand and just got doubled. I mean, this is just really looking like a 15-0-half. AGAiN doesn't seem to really be making any progress on finding out what they should be doing to win.
And at the moment they have, this is one of those rounds where again are kind of silly, like they have a bunch of deagles and then just Lord has the AK on his own. Like, yeah, I think you might want to give that to Neo, buddy.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of team they are, by the way. Like in their mind, like it's okay for Lord to have that AK. Like he's like equivalent to Neo for some reason.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty funny kill. Delpan was hiding behind the red pipe and just peeked out and killed Pasha.
Solid, no kills whatsoever.
Yeah.
This is actually a bit embarrassing right now. Like, this is going to be a terrible second half.
Yeah, I mean, AGAiN really got to look to get, like, 3 rounds and win the pistol to really give us any kind of game, but as it's looks like a pretty grim half.
What do you think the best strategy they've run so far? Like, which has the best chance of working?
I think when Delpan wasn't offing outside, they could have kind of walked up to the mini wall and kind of gone through like they did that one time. And they just kind of had a little bit of bad luck on people's positions when they did it, but I think it was the right idea. They had the right idea when they did it. Just, I think that's another thing that teams do. Obviously, I'm not saying AGAiN don't know this, but like when you run a strat, you got to realize that the strat, like that strat they ran, did not work because of it wasn't the strat that wasn't worked. It's just SK was in like really weird positions and they didn't get the kills they should have. and then they didn't run it again. But I think it warranted another attempt.
I mean, the funny thing is, as ridiculous as this game looks right now, by like how one-sided it is, I'd probably have said like FX are the best T-side team on Nuke, but then again, SK might be the best CT side, so like that can easily cancel itself out if there's even a slight tweak between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. SK's CT sides on all maps just seem really solid. Like, even if you get them on, a map like Forge, which I know many people aren't really used to playing, the map primarily is T-sided, and they got like a 9-6 half versus MTW when they played it, I think. Or actually, I think it was even worse than that. It was like 11-4.
On Forge? Yeah, they
yeah.
had a big score. I think they had like over 10 rounds.
Yeah, I think it was like around 11-4, and that, like, typically you would expect the T's to win, and not just like 8-7. You'd expect them to win like 12-3, 11-4 for the T's, not for the CTs. But SK just really seemed to have that solid CT power. I guess that
they're just like the archetypal Swedish team, like solid spray, like always in the right position. Like they always have all the idiosyncrasies ironed out of their CT sides. Like everyone knows where to be.
Yeah, they're really fluid on their rotations, and they really know like how to set each other up for kills too. Another thing that they're really good at is I feel like they never get any unexpected deaths. Like when someone peeks get right from Mini, he knows that Mini's open. They never forget anything. They like really solid communication.
So is this HLTV working for you?
No, it's pause
okay.
game pending right now. I'd assume AGAiN took like a timeout or something. If that's even allowed, I'm not sure.
You'd actually have expected AGAiN to be like the team who should be the most spry, because I mean they actually played the World Cyber Games qualifier yesterday, whereas in theory everyone else was traveling or just like chilling.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean I didn't see the score of that. Did you?
No, I wasn't actually paying attention to that tourney.
Okay.
I didn't.
Because I actually think it, like in general, they're another one of those countries where even though they're like by far the best team in their country, just because of the way that like domestic like games work out in terms of like matchups, they sometimes seem to have like a bit of trouble even like winning their fucking qualifier.
Yeah. I think it's really a lot easier for domestic teams that scrim you all the time, or players that have played with you in pugs and scrums and 10-mans, to kind of know how you play, know how to counter you. It makes it a lot easier on them.
Well, plus it almost dictates that they're gonna do the best thing they can do anyway, because they know that like skill-wise, experience-wise, they're not as good as you, so the only chance they have is by like perfectly anti-stratting you or doing something to fuck your game up,
Yeah. Well, you
like that's
saw
what everyone
Navi
tries to do versus EG, I think.
Yeah.
Like the entire ESEA LAN is basically people just trying to fuck EG up, like that exact style. Although I'm sure some retards like maybe UMX trying to play him straight up, but who knows why they would do that.
Yeah, who knows what those guys really do. But I think we saw like Navi versus DTS was a pretty surprising WCG win for most people, I think. I mean,
well, actually, the two countries I think are the worst for the upsets, as in like it's most likely to happen for the best team, is Denmark and Ukraine. Like the last few years, the top team could have lost those every time,
Yeah. I think the more tactical the country, the easier it is for some, like, the secondary teams in the Ukraine and Denmark are maybe not as skilled and not as good internationally, but since they know how to ante and they're all smart players, they can beat them. And
well, there's one round on the board.